Bore da, I trust you had a nice weekend and also that you were blessed in some way with our carol service if you listened to it or watched it yesterday. If I was to ask you to shout out the first word that comes to your mind when I say the word Christmas, I would probably hear things like Christmas tree, presents, Santa, decorations, parties, Christmas bonus, and so on. Not that many will have a Christmas bonus this year. But the more spiritual of you, I would imagine, would shout out nativity, carol service, Emmanuel, incarnation, or even hypostatic union. However, there is another word associated with Christmas, and it's the word visit or visiting. You see, a lot of people visit relatives and friends during this Christmas period. There is always great Auntie Blodwen who gets a visit at Christmas. Somehow life is too busy or she is too grumpy to get a visit at any other time of the year. But we feel somehow guilty if we don't visit her over Christmas. However, this pandemic may be just the excuse we need to pass her by this year. Yes, visiting is a part of Christmas and always has been at the heart of the very first ever Christmas. Listen to David in Psalm 8 verse 4, and I'm quoting from the Authorized. What is man that thou art mindful of him, and the Son of Man that thou visitest him? You see, God prepared mankind for his earthly visit. That is, the birth of the Messiah, and he prepared mankind over many, many years or centuries, starting with the first hint of his plan in Genesis 3:15, the verse considered to be the prototype of the gospel promise. Over the centuries, God ordained his chosen people and his prophets, such as Abraham, Moses, David, Isaiah, and others, to foretell his promised visit to planet Earth. Finally, when the time came, he ordained John the Baptist to prepare the way of the Lord. Yes, Christmas is about God's visit to mankind, the Creator visiting his created. Does not John in the first chapter of his Gospel declare that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word was made flesh and made his dwelling among us? One cannot help but wonder if David was in some prophetic mode when he wrote his 8th Psalm. It seems as if he's looking down the telescope of time to the day which the Apostle Paul speaks of in this way. But when the fullness of time had come, God sent forth his Son, born of a woman, born under the law, to redeem those who are under the law, so that we might receive adoption as sons. It was Zechariah, the father of John the Baptist, who prophesied, saying, Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he has visited and redeemed his people, and has raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David. The glory of Christmas is not that it marks the birth of some religious leader, but it celebrates the long anticipated visit of God himself as the great Messiah. Note also that when God became man, he did it through a baby, the symbol of life, of beauty, and of simplicity. However, also the symbol of vulnerability and innocence. This is how God became a man and paid us a visit. He did it through a poor and humble family. For he has looked on the humble estate of his servant Merized. And we also know that family in one sense, this family in one sense was homeless. At the time of his birth, he had no place to sleep. And then the family later became refugees, away from their home, looking for safety and shelter. This Christmas season, yes, we remember that God visited his people. This morning, we remember that he is Emmanuel, which means God with us. Yes, Christmas is all about the great visit. What is man that thou art mindful of him, and the Son of Man that thou visitest him? God bless you. Have a great week. Pob bendydd.